left click.
Well, I guess. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is game number 2 between these two players. Introducing first, currently 1-0 down in this best of 3, looking to level things up, representing Team SC to improve. His name is Sabre! And his opponent, spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Belshir Vested. He is a blue Protoss here, representing Sixth Sense, currently 1 game away from advancing to the quarterfinals. And his name is Dez!
Now, in that game, we pointed out quite a few times that Sabre had a couple opportunities where he could have won, or at least given himself a significant advantage. This means that in this game, Sabre has probably learned from his mistakes and is ready to go in on it and show us what he's truly made of. Des, however, gonna have the confidence advantage and has already shown us what he's made of. Let's see if he can step it up again.
Yep, and as Sabre himself rightly pointed out, pretty much as soon as that map was over, you know, all he had to do was kill that Stargate. Without those Phoenixes coming out, there was nothing to fight the Mutas. He had more than enough Mutas to kill the Stalkers and then the Colossus, but he allowed that Stargate to stay up, and because of that, Dez was able to get out the force needed to essentially kite his Mutas for days. So, Sabre himself going for the pull before expand because, well, who doesn't against Protoss? You don't want to have to deal with any of that annoying pylon block shenanigans. And it's going to work well for him anyway, as Dez is going for the 1 gate. Potentially not even expand, because we do have both gases taken. Only 2 workers in each right now, but that does give him the options to go into a tech-heavy opening, potentially even a 1-base play.
Indeed, and also for all we know, we could be seeing a probe heading over to the right-hand side of the map again, in a repeat of the first game we did see today.
We certainly could, and we are about to see one move out. Be interesting to see what pattern it's rallied to. Well, right now it looks like it is going to be expanding.
Indeed, that looks like a very nice tech expansion with those double gas. So he is going to be able to move into either Stargate or Robo, which is the more likely which is more likely than the rest of them.
Yeah, I could definitely see some Stargate play from this again. These Protoss players, they are loving their Stargates lately, especially against proving themselves to be incredibly effective time and time again. So it wouldn't surprise me at all to see that coming out of Dez in game number 2, as well as game number 1.
Indeed, but we'll have to see how it is. And at the moment, this seems like a very common thing of going for this sentry first. And I don't know how you feel about it, but it seems like a very safe opening for your main base, but it leaves the natural expansion very exposed.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I do prefer the Mothership Core over the Sentry, just because of that. I like to be able to... I really just don't see the need for that Sentry. It's 100 gas that I feel is safe enough, but I guess players want to stay super safe, and especially with the wall-off that Dez is putting down, he will be able to force field that off, just in case any crazy kind of speedling bust comes his way. With points on the line, and points of course meaning potential seeding into that ESET UK Masters tournament, I cannot blame anyone for playing safe, especially when they're in this position of 1 game up in the round of 16.
Indeed, and we were right. It is a Stargate on the way for Dez. The question is whether he's going to go for that Phoenix play again, or whether he's going to go for a bit of a more aggressive Void Ray. And I'd also like to point out, I am a bit dubious about the positioning that Dez always seems to put his Stargate. He puts it to make sure his opponent scouts it. It's very easy for his opponent to scout it in that position, rather than trying to hide it like a lot of players do and sort of deny your opponent knowing whether you're going Robo, Twilight, or Stargate.
Yeah, we do see a lot of that. At the same time, it just makes it easier to defend because a lot of your defensive units are going to be there anyway. And for a lot of players, they're going to almost assume this is going to happen. And with overlords around. With players like Dez wanting to use the Phoenixes as quickly as possible, they kind of get this feeling that, well, my opponent's going to know what's going on anyway, so why even bother hide it? Why not just be as efficient in the building of it as I can be? Potentially even there, his opponent could be thinking that was hallucinated, but once he gets involved, he's going to know it's real. The Queen is lifted, and now there's nothing to deal with the Mothership Core and Zealots beyond this handful of Speedlings. The Speedlings currently being time warped, as is the Queen. Only the one Queen out. The Zealots right now focusing on the hatchery, however, will all get taken down, and the forward pylons have been scouted, but not enough Zerglings right now to clear them all up. But once that's done, the fact is Sabre not going to be able to continue this attack. Sabre is entirely committed to trying and taking this third base down. And just gonna... sorry, not Sabre, Dez, my apologies.
Indeed, Sabre did just produce 30 Zerglings to deal with this. 20 more are about to pop to bring him up to that amount. Queen is finally going to be taken down by these Phoenix, but too little, too late, as Sabre will be able to take down these core pylons, and this attack of Dez will be ceased, which will give Sabre the chance to get out a couple more Queens, chase off these Phoenix, and he's also going to go into the Hydra tech.
Yep, right now, just the one sentry actually walling off. Oh my god, drop the force field. Drop the force
will he notice?
field,
Is he going to notice? He didn't notice!
Oh
Zerglings
my
are now
God,
into the natural expansion, and it's going to be a probe massacre.
That is just horrible. That probe, that sentry, believing itself to be a zealot, trying to wall off with physical force, and there are Speedlings absolutely everywhere in this space. The Nexus is being attacked, so many probes dying. Photon Overcharge is on the main Nexus, but already Sabre getting 11 lurking kills there. I don't know about sending all these Speedlings into the main, with that Photon Overcharge currently going down. But right now, just trying to pick up as many probes as he possibly can, streaming more and more Speedlings down into this base. Starting to pick off Zealots as they walk in as well. Also attacking gateways and really just trying to get any damage done possible. Great play by Sabre here, trying to capitalize on the problems his opponent is having. And that pylon powering a Robo, a Forge, a Gateway, and a Stargate is taken down, delaying all of these reinforcements. And Dez is just going to get so far behind in his plan build. Very nearly loses that Nexus as well. Oh my word, and all of that through just not being aware that his sentry was about to die. 16 workers killed, 63 drones to 32 probes, 3 bases to 2 bases, and a bunch of tech still powered for Dez.
Indeed, Sabre double his opponent's worker supply, only half his opponent's army supply, but the army supply of Dez is only 20. He is currently throwing down a Twilight Council. I feel we may be seeing the Protoss last resort strategy coming out, but at the same time, Sabre is beginning to produce Hydras, which are going to annihilate these Phoenix and the Void Ray that is already out, which is the main bulk of Dez's army. And Dez is going to have a very hard time doing too much damage here. Queens are already out. Aspire is also on the way. These Phoenix are going to get some worker kills, but there's already a Score Crawler, and this Queen going to be able to pick off at least one Phoenix.
Yep, and now down to just 3 Phoenixes. 3 Phoenixes really not going to be able to do anything with those spores around. So Dez doing everything he can to try and gain something back in this game number 2. But looking to be in a very, very tough position. Sabre just honestly getting lucky, but at the same time taking full advantage of that one mistake that Dez made to give himself an advantage. And that's what we didn't see from Sabre in game number 1. We didn't see him taking advantage of Dez's mistakes. And that's what we've seen so far in game number 2. A ton of gateways, 4 more gateways going down there for Dez. He needs to get some army supply, and he knows it.
Indeed, it looks like what we may be seeing from Dez here is going to be a Blink +1 counterattack, possibly all in, with the amount of gateways going down to try and deal enough damage to bring himself back against this. But Sabre is producing some Mutas. He has 20 more Lings on the way. Already has 6 Mutas out on the field, and 1 more is about to pop. And the Hydras are going to make this army so much more efficient due to the majority of Dez's damage-dealing units are well in the sky.
Yeah, wait until the minute these mutas start to tear up the main base, and then Dez is trapped between going and defending the main and defending his natural. This is going to be a real tough thing for him. At the moment, just sending the Phoenixes, but here comes the Speedling Hydras, the army somewhat trapped outside. Now we're getting the force fields going down, but already the Hydra's doing damage. The mutas are getting cleaned up, but again, 27 workers killed now. And Dez once again knocked back to 36 probes. Meanwhile, a 4th hatchery going down for Sabre. So Sabre just using this aggression to not just keep his economic lead, but push it even further. And once again, all 4 of those buildings unpowered. Please, Dez, build 2 pylons there.
Yeah, the Artosis pylon seems to be a very popular strategy out of Dez in these games. God, that photon overcharge has amazing range. And these Hydras can actually hit this gateway from out of range of the photon overcharge, and they are gonna get it, which is even more unfortunate. Sabre just getting so much damage down. An infestation pit is about to finish up as well, so he's going to be able to go to that hive tech as well. +2 is gonna finish up in a few minutes for Sabre as well, which is going to put him so far ahead.
Yeah, it really is. Something I'd like to touch on as well is his creep spread. Not spreading across the map to be aggressive, but connecting all of his bases, allowing him to defend quickly should Dez break this contain, which of course is what he's trying to do. Dez knows he needs to either take a 3rd base or put the hurt on his opponent, so here comes the big push out. Those are some nice force fields, allowing him to pick up quite a few of the Hydras. There's no Speedlings left to help defend this army, so at this point, Sabre wisely just pulls back, realizing, hey, I've got a 2-base advantage. I've got a huge worker advantage. I don't need to take this engagement. But he knows Dez does, so a good pullback from him. And again, just has to make sure he doesn't lose the majority of this army to something stupid, and he is going to be in a great position moving forward. Meanwhile, Dez, of course, does have Blink at this point, does have the +1, so is going to start to push out for an attack forward pylon and going down. Meanwhile, as you said, 2-2 on the way, over halfway done. Hive is also about to be finished. We do have a few Corruptors out as well, and 10 Roaches currently morphing in.
Here we go, moving forward, he does have Blink. Nice! Force fields, trapping a lot of those Blinks. He can blink out of there, but doesn't need to, just blinking back some of the weakened Stalkers. And that's a fairly large chunk of Sabre's army killed off there. Sabre focusing very heavily on Zerglings to try and trap these, but now focusing on Roaches, and a lot of weird kids caught out of position here. Sabre is actually, his army supply is not too far ahead, but these
there simply isn't enough energy left in the sentries for the force fields necessary to fight this army. A lot of the Roaches are going down, but the Hydras are doing the damage. Is it going to be enough? I think it may well just be. That +2 attack has finished.
The Blink Micro was incredible there by Dez, but it wasn't enough. There is the GG, and Sabre ties up the series. Very well played there.